UK. Today is the day 1st of November of 2010 and I'm Alejandro Camus and here to talk about geography, climate and the fun facts of the day. This year 2010 we may see a lot of hurricanes. Here's a complete list of hurricanes names for 2010. Alex, Bonnie, Colin, Danielle, Earl, Fiona, Gaston, Hermione, Igor, Julia, Carl, Lisa, Matthew, Nicole, Otto, Richard, Charlie, Thomas, Virginie and Walter. Mean temperatures of the UK were 4.8 degrees below the average during September, 0.6 degrees below average in January, and 1.7 above average in February. The UK mean temperature for the winter as a whole was 2.4 degrees, making it less than winter in 2009. Which was 1.6 degrees, but still the second coolest winter since 1985-86. And here you can see a chart from the temperatures. Here's the average in last year. It's December, January, February. The total average here was 4.6 degrees below. January was 0.6 and in February was a higher temperature. Okay. Now the fun facts section. Today we have seen the best fun facts about the UK. We hope you like it. The oldest house in the UK is nearly 6,000 years old. It has stone furniture that is still intact. 1 in 3 women they have an abortion in their lifetimes. The names of the English river Avon, Esk, Ouse, all mean river or water in an ancient language. The British pound is the world's old currency, still in use. It's 1200 years old. 90% of Britain eat pizza once a week. Thank you, that's everything for the day.
Well, thanks Camus for the fun facts. Now on the section of economics and politics. On global economy, trade on natural resources or raw materials is an important part of the growth of global economy. In the past 10 years, it has increased by 20% annually. No nation is able to get access to all of the needed materials on their country. This is why access to raw materials has always been really important. Even though access to these materials is really important, the number of restrictions has increased greatly over the past couple of years. The idea behind these restrictions is to boost domestic economies by developing processing capacities to raise revenue and create jobs, but they don't generally work. These restrictions distort the global market and have a negative impact on both development and developing countries. WTO is well placed to endorse a global response to these issues. It should promote free trade in natural resources by removing existing distortions and developing and administering rules and disciplines to support open markets. Occurrences like the restrictions of investments, state interference on prices of domestic industry, discriminatory taxation systems, unfair state aid, and dual pricing are what distort the global market. And organizations like Business Europe and the OCDE are concerned over the proliferation of these trade distortions in the global market for extracted raw materials and have asked the WTO to prevent the escalation of the distortions of these prices. Access to these raw materials is crucial for the competitiveness of the industry. And with these restrictions, companies are opting for applying strategic policies to secure access to raw materials deposits in the world, while at the same time restricting access to domestic raw material markets at the expense of raw materials importers. This is the case on precious metals known as rare earths like platinum and palladium. In 2007, the European Commission identified around 450 export restrictions on raw materials, which were applied by roughly 1/3 of the WTO members. Business Europe is concerned about the economic impact of these restrictions, as they lead to higher international prices and increased price volatility. The UK, as a country that relies heavily on the import of materials, could be greatly affected by these restrictions. Strategic raw material policies can also have suboptimal environmental results as cheap domestic supplies of energy and raw materials sustain low consumption efficiency and weak technological development. The The UK, as part of the European Union, should also take all necessary multilateral legal actions as well as unilateral countermeasures to prevent the escalation of these distortions. Now, on the section of politics, we are in the topic of the most recent election to see who will win and govern our country. The Conservatives have won the most MPs, and the UK general election has fallen short of a majority, leading to the first hung parliament since 1974. The Conservatives are the largest party, but will fall short of the 326 seats needed for the majority government. Labour loses more than 80 seats, and the Liberal Democrats fail to make 8. Tory leader David Cameron says he hopes to begin talks with the Liberal Democrats as quickly as possible. But Gordon Brown says he too will be willing to speak to any of the other party leaders. Former Home Secretary Jackie Smith is among those to lose their seat. The Electoral Commission is to investigate after hundreds of people across the country are prevented from voting. Voter turnout was 65.1%, up to 4% from 2005. Now we will continue with Paulina with sports and social issues.
Hi, my name is Paulina and I'm gonna talk about the section of sports. The United Kingdom is notable for the diversity of its sporting interests. Sports play an important role in promoting integration and nurturing talents in the country. The country has given birth to the several major international sports such as football, cricket, golf, tennis, and track and field, among others. Sport is a major source of entertainment in the UK, with thousands of spectators filling stadiums and arenas to cheer on their favorite teams. Sport source of revenue in the UK for players, government, and investors. The most important sport in the UK is football. Football is an extremely popular sport played in the United Kingdom. In fact, every country of the United Kingdom has their own football association. Every country is also home to dozens of leagues of their own. This is now the section of social issues. In 2010, England riots, more widely known as the London riots, were a series of riots between the 6th and 11th August 2010, when thousands of people rioted in cities and towns across England, saluting arson and mass deployment of police, and resulted in the death of 5 people. Protests started in Tottenham, London, followed the death of Mark Duggan, a local man who was shot dead by a police on August 4. Several violent clashes with police ensued, along with the destruction of police vehicles and double-decker bus and many homes and businesses. Thus rapidly gained attention from the media. It took place in Tottenham Hale Retail Park and nearby Woodgreen. The following day saw similar scenes in other parts of London, with the most rioting taking place in Brixton. From 8 to August 10, other towns and cities in England saw what was described by the media as a copycat violence. Social media sites, including Facebook, also featured rumors of further disturbances or details surrounding known disturbances, which were later proven to be inaccurate. For instance, there were rumors of no incidents in these areas were detected by police. Rumors of a hospital being targeted by rioters in Birmingham were also proven to be wrong, as were rumors of disturbances in the Hilltown district of Wolverhampton. Thank you.
For the social issues section, so now we're into culture. Throughout the month of November, lots of men are trying to grow mustache in honor of November. This is done with the goal to raise funds for charities of men's health. This is also a movement made to spread awareness about health problems in men like prostate cancer and testicular cancer. One of the main beneficiaries of these funds in the UK is the prostate cancer campaign. November was established in 2003 in Melbourne, Australia by a few group of friends. The main goal was to promote growth of mustache along with people with similar mindset and also started talking about real issues. After some years, this small campaign started to grow to other parts of the globe. In 2007, it reached UK to support prostate cancer UK, and it made a huge impact on the campaign. Also, on November 5th, we celebrate the Bonfire Night or Guy Fawkes Night. This is a tradition celebrating the failure of Guy Fawkes' attempt to blow up the House of Parliament on November 5th, 1605. This event is where bonfires are lit all around the UK. There are also fireworks shows and many celebrations. Tomorrow we also honor members of the armed forces from the UK who lost their lives in world catastrophes like World War I and World War II. Remember that there are fundraisers to help veterans and their families. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. you're going to be able to observe 2 minutes of silence at war memorials and other public spaces. So don't forget to pay your respects to people who helped so much in UK wearing a red poppy, which is a meaning of remembrance. So now to entertainment and hot topic with C.
Alexis, and now with the hot topics. Yesterday, the first 33 trapped Chilean miners is rescued after spending 68 days trapped in a mine half a mile underground. He is pulled to safety by a capsule made for rescue mission. The rest of the miners will be carried to safety over the next 24 hours. And today, all 33 Chilean miners trapped underground for over 2 months are pulled to safety in what is being hailed as a brilliant rescue mission. Entertainment news. Grown Ups is being a hit in cinema, directed by Dennis Dugan and stars Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Chris Rock, David Spade, and Rob Schneider. It depicts in 5 lifelong friends of a middle school basketball team and their families reunited for a July 4th weekend after learning about the sudden death of their coach. We hope you like this film this June 2010.